All right, so we're laughing because this is our first shoot with ASG, and Mike stands
Guy
casually, takes the lens cap off. So you guys see where we are. But what do we got here, Mike? What do you got?
Soft plastics. We showed you rigging these. Little 6-inch soft plastic, 1/2 ounce jig head. This is like the lure to use in the springtime for springtime striped bass fishing, and they work really well in the rivers, estuaries, and they pretty much work everywhere. But what we did, we were running down the river, and we just on the side scan. So on the Humminbird side scan, we saw a big pile of fish out on this side of the river towards the bank. So and it's something that we weren't marking on regular, on your traditional sonar, because they were all out to the side of the boat. So it's obviously, so the hits are really soft. I just got hit twice there. One thing, after you get a hit and a miss, you always want to keep working it, because you almost always get a follow-up hit. It's either that fish coming back for it again, or another fish that saw that hit. They're competitive, so he wants what the other fish was going after. So basically, we saw the school of fish on the side scan, and then we deployed the trolling motor.
So what are we looking for right now, Mike? You're just looking for
I'm just looking.
Fish,
When we find fish, we'll find huge schools of fish. There are some fish on the right side of the boat. You could see. Those are all fish there. All these. Yep. Out to the right. Yeah, I just got another hit there. And another one. That was the follow-up hit that I was just saying. So you miss, I missed that hit, and you just either pause it for a second and let it settle back down for a second and just continue the retrieve. I see people, they miss a hit and they speed up and they reel it in real quick, and don't do that, because you're almost always going to get a follow-up hit. And that's our springtime schoolie right there. Nice thing about what's great about these single hooks is you don't do any damage to the fish. We don't want to beat these guys up.
The first one you call is a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
Are they pretty much all the same size, Mike?
What's funny about it is, so we're fishing in April right now, and that's the average size fish, 15 to 25 inches. Yep. But then we'll pull a keeper out. We'll catch a bunch of fish that size, and then we'll get a fish, 28 to 38 inches.
So are these holdover fish, Mike? How do these
Exactly,
fish
yeah. So these are all holdovers. So what they do is, and pretty much all the rivers in Connecticut and in Rhode Island, the Providence River, there's rivers on the Cape, the Hudson, all the rivers in the Northeast have this. Jersey has it too. But these fish in Connecticut, they move in the rivers right around Thanksgiving time, usually November, December. And actually the fishing at the beginning part, the end of the fall like that, is actually pretty good. Again, real soft hit. It's just we're using 20-pound braid, and you have to really stay in good contact with the jig. But anyways, what I was saying is, they move in around December. When they first move in, they usually bite pretty good because they haven't gotten lethargic yet. And another nice little 20-incher there. Yeah. But they are really clean fish. Yeah. Nice looking fish. And I'm reeling really slow. Just enough to keep contact with it. You got to feel that. If I was reeling too slow, I would get slack because the jig would just get pushed with the current. And it's real important. Just when I stopped there, I just had a hit. And the reason why I missed that fish is because I let some slack build in the line. So you have to stay tight to the jig.
Are they hitting it hard or soft?
Really soft. Like I just missed the fish right there. We'll see if we could they'll hit it really close to the boat too. But that's why it's so important, what people struggle with this kind of fishing. It's definitely finesse fishing. If you aren't staying in contact with the jig at all times, you're gonna miss all the hits, because they hit it, it's just a split second, it's a really soft hit. Yep. So fishing in the wind is a challenge. There we go. You get a real natural presentation with this, and with the sinking line, You know, these fish right now, it's the middle of daytime. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's sunny. It's really warm out today. So we're able to get this, you know, the sinking line is going to take the clouser right down to where the fish are. And we're able to just slowly strip it right in front of them. I like to do more of a one hard strip and a pause. There we go. Seems like that hard pop followed by a pause. And, you know, keep tension on the, make sure on the pause you're ready to strike, because a lot of the hits come right after that hard strip. But it's still fun, and there's a lot of action. We were catching a lot of fish. And right now the fly rod is actually more effective than the spinning rod. We marked them on the sonar here. It's 11 feet deep. The fish are pretty much hugging the bottom. Water visibility actually cleared up a little bit. We haven't had it rain in a few days, and it's not as murky as it was a few days ago. Yeah, this is a lot of fun because it's different than what I'm used to doing. You know, I'm used to doing a lot of spin fishing. It just adds another element, and it's a different challenge. And I like, the one thing I've always liked about fly fishing is feeling the strike. We stopped getting hits for a little bit there. This Minn Kota trolling motor has this awesome feature. It's called jog. So we're on spot lock, and on my mini remote here, I press the jog, the right arrow 4 times, and each time you press the arrow, it moves you 5 feet in that direction. So if I press the right arrow 4 times, I move 20 feet over to the right, and because we stopped getting hits there for a couple minutes. To shut it down like 10 years ago. Guys, so we're marking a ton of fish here. I don't know if you can see the 2D sonar, but there is literally, you know, we're on a massive school of striped bass. The fish are very lethargic. It's early spring. So what I'm using here is this is called an Alabama rig. It's basically a castable umbrella rig. I'm pretty confident if they're not hitting this, you know, they're not going to be hitting anything else. So it's a windy day today too. So we're casting this out, keeping the rod tip low. And I just got hit. You know, this is a day when the fish are real finicky, and they're not responding well to traditional single jig. It's much too cold to go with any kind of surface plug. So this is where this Alabama rig is real effective. These are rigged with 5 soft plastics. These are paddle tails. They vibrate a lot. These baits are awesome. They have these ridges on the bait too, which I think displace a little bit more water. There we go. Check your local regulations because they're not allowed in all states. So in Connecticut, you're allowed to use these. So we're gonna make sure we center it, the hook nice and straight. That's important. If you're off center, you'll split the bait and it won't swim right. Then put a little bit of crazy glue over the collars of the jig head. So we're motoring through and we saw a big school of fish. You can see it on the side imaging. They were just massive school. Lots of fish here. There he is. I switched it up here. I took that split tail off and I went to the paddle tail, to the Kitech. Let's get a little bit more vibration in the water.